Hi, it's Sunday morning. We've had a few days delay in our schedule due to a tropical depression that came through and dropped about half a foot of rain on us over the past few days. But today it's sunny and tomorrow's expected to be good. So we're going to go for our bake day. Now this is the day before our baking. Our goal today is twofold. This morning we're going to take the starter, which I brought out of the spring and saved before it overflowed. We're going to rejuvenate the starter. We're going to bring it back to life so it starts to bubble and squeak. And we're going to set it up so that all day long it's going to be basically coming back to life. This evening we're going to be using the activated sourdough starter to make our bread. So this is what we're dealing with right now. What you'll see in here is nothing. There are no bubbles. It's gone to sleep. And that's precisely what we wanted. Our goal today is to bring it back to life and start it bubbling once again. Also, what you don't see in this is a top layer of brown liquor. That comes when you have a mature sourdough starter. As you recall, this is a brand new, freshly made starter, so it hasn't had time yet to age and to get the brown liquor that floats on top that provides the true sour flavor. So this is going to be a very mild sourdough, but it will be the beginnings of what should become a really good starter. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to set the starter to the side. Now, on the morning before bake day, you redo the complete recipe for the sourdough starter, which means we're going to take potatoes, we're going to peel them, we're going to boil them, we're going to mash them, we're going to make the potato soup all over again. And then to that potato soup, which will be warm, we will add the starter plus additional water, some more sugar, some more salt, all at a warm temperature, and I emphasize the warmth there, so that the sourdough starter, the bacteria, will rejuvenate and come back to life. So let's get started. Let's peel some potatoes. We take one potato for every gallon of liquid we're going to be using. 1 gallon of starter makes about 6 large loaves of bread. And by large loaf, what I mean is a large round loaf of bread formed in our rye straw baskets. And you'll see that tomorrow actually when we set them up in the rye straw baskets. So you take 1 potato for every gallon of water. These are our hops. This is a part of this year's crop. Actually, it's most of this year's crop. Actually, it's all of this year's crop, quite frankly. The drought really did a serious number to our hops this year. The vine was stricken by the drought. It did not produce the number of leaves that it usually has or the number of flowers. So this is it for our crop. Now this is how you use it. It's been said among the Pennsylvania Germans that you use 12 hops for every loaf of bread, 1 for each apostle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use all of these hops, and I'm not sure how many apostles we're going to put in, but they're all in there. And we're going to add some water to it. I'm going to go off camera for a second. There. It's a lot easier to put the hops in first and then add the water. If you put the water in, as I have done, if you put the water in first and then try and put the hops in, you keep trying to push the hops in the water, it doesn't work very well. So, I have maybe a couple of pints of water. We're going to set these on the stove, we're going to simmer them, and by the time we come back from going down and getting eggs in the chicken house, I think the potatoes will be ready and the hops water will be ready as well. So, here we go. We're going to put this on the stove. We're going to turn on the heat. We have the potatoes here. I'm going to turn up the heat because it's not boiling yet. Actually, I'm going to wait till it boils and then we're going to start our timing on that. So I have the hops here. I actually have the potatoes here, the hops over here, and in this third kettle I have some hot water which we're going to be using for actually to top off the amount of water, the amount of starter that we're going to be needing for our sourdough. Well, let's check things out. The hops are steaming, that's good. We're just going to let them simmer for about 10 minutes. That's about how long we have left on our timer. The potatoes are boiling nicely. It's going to take some time for them to cook. We want them very soft and easy to mash. It takes about 1 gallon of starter to make 6 large round loaves of bread. We're going to be using 2 gallons of starter. I want to make about 12 loaves of bread, what I'm going to be calling 50-50 bread, half bread flour, half whole wheat. And we're going to be using a commercial whole wheat for that from the Midwest. I'll be using another gallon of liquid to make the 100% whole wheat from the High family's locally raised wheat. And I have a gallon of starter. I'm starting with 1 gallon of starter. We have to make enough new starter to put back into the crock and keep for the next bake day. So I'm going to need 4 gallons of starter total. And I found that using these plastic buckets, these 5-gallon buckets, is a very convenient way to actually do your starter. Because it's plastic, it's inert, it doesn't interact with the starter, doesn't affect the starter. It has a handle so you can carry it around. And it makes it a convenient way to both produce and move your starter when you're using large quantities, as we will be in the bake oven.